With more and more businesses getting added to the e-invoicing system under GST, taxpayers and professionals must understand the implications of this system that is less than a year old on other existing GST systems as well. Hi everyone, I'm Annapurna from ClearTax, and here's a video to know about the integration between the e-way bill and e-invoicing systems and tips to comply with this without any hassles. If you are looking for e-invoicing basics and e-invoicing implications on GSTR1 filing, then do check out our videos available on the channel, the link of which is left in the description below. Now let's dive into this topic. An e-way bill has two parts. Part A contains the invoice details such as GSTIN of supplier and recipient, invoice number, delivery address, HSN codes, etc. Part B has transporter details such as transporter ID, transporter document details, mode, vehicle number, etc. In the system before e-invoicing could come, both parts were generated from the e-way bill portal by the taxpayer by updating the invoice details and transporter details on the e-way bill portal or via API. After e-invoicing has come into the picture, existing users of the e-way bill portal can use the same credentials for login into the e-invoice portal instead of getting a new registration. With the help of the e-invoicing system, e-way bills can be auto-generated from the e-invoicing portal. Therefore, while transporting goods wherever the e-way bill is needed, the requirement continues to be mandatory. So an e-invoice is not a substitute for an e-way bill. The motive behind these changes is to simplify the process of creating e-way bills, thus saving time and ensuring accuracy of data input. It is entirely the choice of taxpayers if they want to generate e-way bill at the same time as the generation of invoice or later on by using the IRN as reference. Note that e-way bill is invalid without a valid e-invoice or IRN wherever e-invoicing is required for implementation. The IRP or e-invoice portal supports 4 functions for taxpayers interested to generate their e-way bills via IRP. First, generation of an e-way bill using IRN. A user has to enter the IRN to generate an e-way bill on the e-invoice portal. Second, bulk generation of e-way bill. The government provides bulk generation facility for businesses which have large number of transactions every day. Third, print e-way bill. A user can select the print e-way bill option under the e-way bill option and then enter the e-way bill number. On entering the e-way bill number, e-way bill will be displayed with an option to print. Lastly, cancellation of e-way bill is allowed on the IRP. Note that updating Part B, extending validity of e-way bill or generating a consolidated e-way bill, etc. need to be done from the e-way bill portal directly only. Here's how this entire process works. Once the invoice is successfully validated, Part A and Part B of e-way bills will be auto-populated provided with some optional details, that is the transporter ID and mode of transport in the e-invoice are updated. If the user sends the transportation details together with the invoice details to IRP, then the IRP will communicate this with the e-way bill portal in real time and generates e-way bill for you. So, to summarize this, there are 2 ways to generate e-way bills from the IRN. E-way bill along with the e-invoice or generate e-invoice first and the e-way bill later on. There could be 2 scenarios where the e-way bill and the e-invoice are simultaneously generated. Firstly, you provide invoice details, the distance and transporter ID for only the Part A slip to be generated like the existing system on e-way bill. Here, the IRP system sends e-way bill number and generated date, that is not the validity date, back to the IRP, which further goes to the taxpayers with IRN, signed QR code and other details like acknowledgement number, acknowledgement date, status, signed QR code and signed invoice data. Secondly, you provide to the IRP certain details such as invoice and transporter details such as mode and vehicle details for road transport or transport document details for rail, air or ship transportation to generate the Part A and Part B of the e-way bill. In this case, the e-way bill system sends back the e-way bill number, generated date and validity date back to the IRP. This data is collated on the IRP that sends the e-way bill generated details along with the e-invoice details such as IRN, signed QR code, acknowledgement number, acknowledgement date, status and signed invoice data. However, in the second way, an e-invoice is generated first and followed by this, the e-way bill will be generated on a later date. In other words, if only invoice details are sent to IRP, it sends back the IRN and signed QR code along with other details like acknowledgement number, acknowledgement date, status, and signed invoice data. Now, later, whenever e-way bills for said invoices need to be generated, instead of invoice details, you can send across the IRN along with the transportation details. There can be two scenarios here also. Firstly, when you send the transporter ID and distance along with IRN, then only party slip gets generated at the e-way bill system, which is sent back to IRP and then back to the taxpayer. The e-way bill system sends the e-way bill number and generated date, not the validity date, back to the IRP. So it further goes back to the taxpayers with the same IRN and signed QR code and other details like acknowledgement number, acknowledgement date, status, signed QR code, signed invoice data. Secondly, when you send the e-way bill details like the distance, transport mode, vehicle details or transport document number, then details of all these will be collated and part B along with IRN will get generated, that is on the e-way bill system. When you send e-way bill details like the transportation mode, distance, vehicle details or transport document details for part B along with IRN, then the e-way bill system sends the e-way bill number, generated date and validity date back to the IRP, which further goes to the taxpayers with the same IRN and signed QR code and other details like acknowledgement number, acknowledgement date, status, signed QR code and signed invoice data. Now that you got to know the process, here are some tips for you to effectively manage your e-way bills and e-invoices together. IRN is active in cases where IRN is generated first and e-way bill is generated later on. E-way bill can be generated through the IRP only for invoices, not for debit and credit notes. The vehicle number should match with the specified format given for e-way bills and should exist in the Vahan database of the government. E-way bill will not be generated if the seller or buyer's GSTIN is blocked due to the non-filing of returns. In such cases, you may file EWB 05 and also file your pending GST returns. It is not required to carry a physical copy of an e-invoice if the invoice with QR code can be shown on the digital invoice, that is mobile, etc. to the proper officer. The port code is not mandatory in the case of export transaction for goods. Bill to is relevant for e-invoicing, whereas ship to is relevant for e-way bill generation. The from pin distance to pin distance as put by the taxpayer is validated by NIC for correctness as per records of distance between two pin codes. An e-invoice will have 1000 line items, and when e-way bill generated from it, the e-way bill has a high value of 250 items with a total invoice value. This is followed in the current e-way bill system also. There can be documents other than invoice which need to be used to generate e-way bills, such as B2C transactions, delivery challans, the job work, then sales returns note, import, etc. All such transactions are not covered under e-invoicing, but where an e-way bill is required, the e-way bill number needs to be generated from current e-way bill portal directly. Hence, your ERP system must help you in segregation of documents into those requiring e-way bill and those requiring e-invoice. From that rest. Both IRN and e-way bill cancellation has to be done within 24 hours of generation. However, additional condition for IRN is that there should be no active e-way bill for the IRN. Thus, before cancelling IRN, the taxpayer needs to cancel the e-way bill first if it exists. Also, if the e-way bill is cancelled for a document, it can be regenerated for the same document. However, if an IRN is cancelled for the document, the same cannot be regenerated for the same document and you need to generate a new IRN using a new document number only. Cancellation of IRN and e-way bill can be carried out through the IRP portal. Bulk e-way bill generation facility using IRN is offered by the government to businesses that generate a substantial number of transactions each day with the help of an Excel file. If incorrect or incomplete e-way bill details are given, then IRN will be generated and the e-way bill may show some error. Subsequently, e-way bill by IRN can be used for e-way bill generation. Try ClearTax e-invoicing solution. It is fast, dependable and affordable. You can integrate with the Tally plugin within 7 minutes, create invoices from within your ERP system, and connect to our GST and e-Waybill platforms for easy management on a tap. I hope you found this video useful. Please like, share and subscribe to ClearTax, and don't forget to comment with your suggestions and ask any query on invoicing. We'll be happy to help you. Thank you.